Marc Snuffy. Of the 5 masters introduced in the Neo-Egoist League, he was deemed the least interesting or even the weakest by the community. His design wasn't as interesting as Lavinio, who resembled real-life Neymar, and his introduction statement wasn't as captivating as Noa's or Chris Prince's being the best in the world and the second best respectively. This has gone as far as people scaling the young prodigy Loki above him. But boy, we were wrong. In the biggest twist of the Neo-Egoist League, to have not Isagi, not Ego, but the man himself Noa admitting that even though he is the better striker, when it comes to being the overall best player, Snuffy reigns on that throne with terror, and he wears the crown of being the most versatile and all-around flexible footballer in the world right now. So let's take a deep look into the Phoenix Man and try to analyze his playing style as well as his character and philosophy. But before we do, however, if you enjoy this type of videos and content, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell for more amazing Blue Lock theories and reviews. And now without any further ado, on with the video. Our first introduction into Snuffy was at the start of the Neo-Egoist League, specifically in chapter 155, where he was labeled the Crown Messenger, a player who brings victory to any teams he plays for. A very generic statement that applies to all the masters, given that they are all beasts that bring victory to their respective teams. This has left an underwhelming first impression on the community. Little did we know, however, this was fully intended to divert our attention and to conceal Marc's true level. Enter the Master Strategist. Our first hint at Snuffy's genius was with the revelation that Ubers defeated FC Barca 3-1, with Barrow scoring a hat-trick. This meant that Ubers orchestrated a plan to neutralize Barca's insanely strong offense, while having a consistent and a reliable way to produce goals. And it didn't take long for us to get our first real introduction to Snuffy, as in chapter 209, when announcing Master Munchen's starting lineup for their game against Ubers, Noa stated that they are going to face a very tactical team that is led by a strategist nut, and that the key to this game is the team's ability to win their one-on-one duels. This is out of character for Noa, since even against Manshine City, a team that is led by the second best player in the world, Chris Prince, Noa didn't show any concerns, and stuck to his rationality by only relying on the overall numbers of the players to determine the starting lineup. This serves as a testament to Snuffy's genius and to his masterful mind. So let's take a deeper look and explore what this masterful mind is capable of. And we begin with the start of the Master Munchen vs Ubers game. Even when Isagi stopped Lorenzo and Barrow link up and scored the goal with a quick counter, both Snuffy and his players did not seem to be fazed by this. In fact, on the very next play they quickly executed a plan to completely shut down Isagi and score a goal with a stealth kill shot that neither BM defense nor Gagamaru were able to react to, with Snuffy smiling and simply saying "Advance Ubers," as we get a flashback to the Italian wing, where we see Ubers training and witness Snuffy's philosophy in action. However, what transpired next was beyond our wildest expectations, with the whole series shifting to a realistic, more serious tone, with people's very lives riding on football. We see Snuffy with a relaxed demeanor wasting no time in stating his philosophy. Football is work, and winning is the job of the players. He quickly goes and presents a near infinite number of tactics that he specifically designed for each and every player, depending on their strength and playing style. A feat that can only be achieved by the Master Strategist, cementing that when it comes to being a genius, the throne is his. This did not fly with everyone, however, as we see Barrow stating that his philosophy is weak-minded, and that he doesn't see football as a job, but rather it is his way of conquering the world. This prompted Snuffy to take interest in the king, and to straight up say he's the best, right before explaining to him that he is a human being before he is a footballer, and that he should never forget this hierarchy. He then goes and tells Barrow what is the darkest story in Blue Lock so far, the story of his best friend whom he shared a dream with once. Much like Barrow, Marc and his friend were really talented, prodigies even, and they enjoyed the fame and fortune that came from it to the fullest, feeling like actual kings. But, and to quote Snuffy himself, they messed up. Because they thought highly of their talent, they started skipping practice, and even getting into scandals, which led to them losing their place in the starting lineups and falling from grace. Snuffy's friend couldn't take it as his spirit broke, leading to him taking his own life. With a complete shock on Barrow's face, Snuffy asks if he would still be able to love himself if he stopped being a prodigy, reminding him of never losing sight of the fact that before being a football player he is a human being. This is a never seen before level of character depth in Blue Lock, and fully explains his philosophy. By treating football as work, you acquire the seriousness and responsibility needed to be a true professional. This way, one can never lose sight of who he truly is. And if you think about it, this is very close to Noa's rational philosophy. And allow me to explain. In chapter 158, Noa asks Isagi if he hypothetically had his ideal play, could he win against Noa? With Isagi stuttering then saying he doesn't know. Noa then responded that he will never choose players with irrational mental blocks, and tells Isagi to revise his thought process, asking him if the first step he takes in the morning is a step that leads him to the world's best. Does he spend each minute, each second of every day on the road to becoming the best? And this isn't even about football anymore. Football comes second to you pushing yourself and becoming the best you can. This is completely in line with Snuffy's philosophy, as you should never lose sight of who you are and where you want to be in life. It is like they say, great minds think alike. While Noa and Snuffy have different approaches, their philosophies are completely in line with each other. This is further exemplified by the army-like structure of Ubers that matches Noa's rational play. Both are devoid of emotions and delusion and are straight to the point. This is a testament to Snuffy having a philosophy and mindset of the highest caliber, coupled with his unrivaled IQ, and we have the making of the true number one player in the world. However, the right mindset is just the start. At the end of the day, this is football and you need to be number one on the field and during the matches. So, how does Snuffy fare on the pitch? Well, for starters, he has metavision. This alone scales him very high. Not only that, but his metavision is better than Isagi and Kaiser's, as he was shown in chapter 222 to outread Isagi easily, or as Isagi said it, he outmeta his metavision. This is likely due to his experience, since this is Isagi's second game with metavision while Snuffy had it for years. What really puts him over the edge, however, is again his genius. By relying on his metavision to read the situation, Snuffy then uses his masterful mind to come up with attack and defense patterns on the fly, depending on the positioning of his opponents as well as his teammates. And while simple in concept, this playing style has proved to be really difficult to deal with, even for the man himself Noa. And this is unprecedented, as we've seen in previous chapters, Noa had no issue dealing with both Lavinia and Prince. This time, however, even with the whole team of Master Stratagist in defense, Isagi stated that they are barely hanging, and it's only a matter of time before they receive a goal. But wait, this man's genius doesn't stop with the way he uses his brain and eyes. Because Snuffy doesn't have a god-gifted physique like Noa and Prince, he incorporates Jiu-Jitsu into his playing style to reach a world-class ball retention, allowing him to win his one-on-one duels against most players. An all-around perfect footballer. A player that Isagi stated that he has no image of stealing the ball and going on the counter. The same Isagi that stopped Chris Prince's knuckle shot and went on a counter that resulted in the winning goal for Master Stratagist. That Isagi, the same Isagi, is now feeling hopeless. And with his back to the wall, not knowing what to do, Isagi asks Noa if he has a plan to stop the Master Strategist. And believe me, Noa's response says it all. I have no clue. And that all they could do is to endure the 3 minutes and then Snuffy will leave. This gave Isagi an idea for an amazing defensive pattern that would work against the man of the hour, by relying on Raichi's endurance to form a constant barrier in front of Snuffy. Just for Isagi to find out that he has already anticipated it, and the counter plan was already executed, leaving Isagi in a state of complete hopelessness. He cannot stop Ubers when Snuffy is orchestrating their attacks. But you know, being the all-around footballer that he is, Snuffy's genius isn't limited to offense. In fact, he is just as impressive in defense. In chapter 225, after Baru's failed stealth kill shot, Gagamaru caught the ball, giving Master Stratagist their first opportunity since Snuffy got on the field. And they wasted little to no time and went straight for a swift counter. And since Kaiser's ender lockdown and Noa got tackled by Aiku, Isagi leads their attack. However, Snuffy read this whole plan effortlessly and was there to meet Isagi, and to counter the last pass coming his way with his Phoenix header, proving that it doesn't matter if it's defense or offense, Snuffy is the man. But the biggest testament to Snuffy being the true number one player in the world is the following statement. Strictly from a striker's perspective, I am better than Snuffy. But from an all-around perspective, he is the more versatile and flexible footballer. In terms of the overall ability, I rate him as the best player in the world. This was Noa, the currently rated number one player, admitting to Isagi that Snuffy is the true number one. Isagi's reaction further proved this. He was not shocked or surprised by this. Rather, he further commended Snuffy's unrivaled genius. And this actually led me to speculate that Snuffy's playing style is the final piece for Isagi to reach world class. And I have made a full analysis video exploring this theory and comparing the two players in great details, so guys, feel free to check the video out. In the end, the writer of Blue Lock did a stealthy shot twist on us, by having the master that seemed the least interesting to be the strongest player in the world. And the scariest part is, these insane plays we witnessed happened just in the span of 3 minutes. I can only imagine how it feels playing a full game against the Master Strategist. That's it for the video guys, I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, thank you for watching.